Hey everybody, welcome to the Swirl Suite. Yes, we are posting another Thursday episode. Listen, it's a lot going on in the wine world right now. It's after harvest, people are doing tours, we're doing Twitter chats, it's wine everywhere, and we just have to taste it. Before we get to our interview with Virginia of Gaylor Estate, I have a little treat. So last night was pretty epic. I was at City Winery with André Mack and a bunch of other, honestly, Black wine lovers. It was really cool. So André Mack, he published his book called 99 Bottles, Black Sheep's Guide to Life-Changing Wines. And here is a little audio from last night.
But I just felt like all of the definitive books about wine have been written. Not by anybody that looks like me, but those books have been written. Those are textbooks, reference books that will never be changed. I still go back to them all the time. And so when it came time to write a book, or that opportunity was presented to me, I felt like I wanted to go a different route. I wanted to tell my story in a way that was a little bit different. Like, we can all sit down and write a memoir of sorts. What's interesting about this book is that it's part memoir and it's actually part wine guide. And if anybody kind of knows who I am or what I do, or actually saw the bottle of wine that you're drinking, it's called OPP, other people's Pinot. For me, wine has always been a way for me to kind of convey my sense of humor and a way to be able to look at wine differently and through a different lens. And humor, I always found humor as a great way to foil pretension, which the wine business is full of. And if we can laugh at ourselves and laugh at those things, it would make it less harsh or less scary. And I've made a career out of that. I made a business out of that. And so for here, we wanted to make it feel like the same. So on the outside, it does look like a guide. It's called 99 Bottles, Black Sheep's Guide to Life-Changing Wines. I'm not saying that these wines will change your life. They shaped my life and they changed my life into the person that I am. They're the reason that I'm standing here. I encourage everybody to go out and find their own 99, because that's what it's about, right? I'm going to say this, that your relationship with wine is not about monogamy. It's just not. One of the few things in your life. Your marriage might be. But your relationship and your marriage to wine is not about monogamy. You should be trying everything. The whole point of wine is variety and seeking out things and really fun things like that. It's not a journey, at least for me, it's not, and I encourage most people, it's not a journey to find the ultimate thing that you want to drink for the rest of your life. That's kind of boring. The whole idea is to experiment and to taste those wines and understand more about them. And, or whatever it is for you. But for me, I wanted to write this book. So I wrote this book that's pretty, on the surface you look at it and it looks like this fun guide about wine, and it is. But a lot of the stories are really personal about, they tell and paint a picture about who I am as a person and the things in my life. And so wine is a snapshot of a moment in time. Like when you go on vacation, you're like, oh man, you remember we went to Spain and we sat and watched the sunset and we ate these oysters and we had like this €3 wine and it was the best wine ever. And you've been trying to chase that ever since. You're like, what was that wine? And what you don't realize is that it was the experience. Me and Justin were just talking about wine is the soundtrack. It's the music playing in the background. It sets the tone. And that's how I've always looked at wine. And as a kid, growing up on hip hop and being able to merge my two passions and loves together, that was something special for me, and that's well documented in this book.
So for the rest of the evening, we drank some of the wines that Andre mentioned in his book that changed his life and changed his path in wine. And we just talked. He signed our books and we just vibed. It was a really great night. You can find the book on Amazon or wherever you find your books. And that was it. It was really epic. So anyway, here is our interview with Virginia of Gaylor Estate. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I am great.
I love your hat. That's the best.
Oh, thank you. You can see me.
Yeah.
It's such a terrible hair day. Yeah.
I woke up from a nap about an hour ago, so that's why you can't see me.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. How was your weekend? Was it busy at the winery?
It was actually kind of slow, like for
Really?
an October weekend, just because
Mm-hmm.
of I think Halloween activities in the area. We
Oh,
don't really do much Halloween stuff, so
gotcha.
it's not like that sort of thing. So but it's kind of slower, but
Okay.
our October has like crazy,
Mm,
super crazy.
yeah,
But so it was nice to have like a little bit of a slower weekend for a change.
gotcha. I was actually in Virginia tasting wine all weekend.
Oh, I think I saw on your
Oh,
Instagram.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was pretty fun.
Fun.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Anything exciting?
Well, this one winery, um, I had their wine, but their wine went from like an 8 to a 10 after me going to their winery. It,
Cool.
it was so nice. But it's called Early Mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, in Charlottesville.
Okay.
Yeah, their wine was really good. And then they had great customer service and it was a nice
Nice.
day and they had fire pits. So it was just,
Oh,
icing on
perfect.
the cake. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Do you get to this area or Virginia or even Maryland often?
Um, not really. Like we have to like plan it out,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
um I like uh I like to try to at least like take the staff somewhere once a year.
Mm.
So like last year we just kind of stayed local because a lot of them had never been to local places.
Uh-huh.
So we're trying to think of like another like, we did Maryland and Virginia a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
So I think we might revisit that because I feel like there's been like some changes and some new
Yeah.
ones popping up. So
Yeah. And I'm always in Pennsylvania. I'm just never on your side of town. But
yeah.
after coming to visit your winery, oh my God, we're chatting without introductions. I'm sorry. Let's fast forward. Who are we talking to? Hi, guys. Welcome to the Swirl Suite. I'm Sarita. You can follow me at Vine Me Up, and you can follow the Swirl Suite podcast on all social media at Swirl Suite. And I am with a very special guest, Virginia Mitchell. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I met Virginia. What month was that? Was it like
Oh, it was September. It was
September?
right at the start of harvest.
Yes, I met
Yeah.
Virginia in September, and she works at a wonderful winery. Virginia, please introduce yourself to everybody.
Sure. So I'm Virginia Mitchell. I'm the winemaker at Gaylor Estate Vineyard and Winery. I also am the winery manager, general manager. I do a lot of the behind the scenes work, not only in the winery, but in the business side as well. And Gaylor Estate is located in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, right behind Longwood Gardens. So, like a mile from Longwood entrance. So, if you're ever in
So
the area.
you're the winery manager and the tasting room manager.
So
Those
sort
are
of.
two very big jobs.
Yeah. I wear a lot of hats
Yeah.
at Gaylor. I do like a lot. So I was hired on as the winemaker,
Hmm.
and winemaking is obviously very seasonal, a lot
Gotcha.
of
Okay.
fall and then like some springtime with bottling, filtering and bottling and I like to be very efficient in my work, so I'm not here like all the time, but
Okay.
then so in the very beginning I kept like asking for more things, more responsibilities, and I
Overachiever.
like
Got it.
yeah. And I like to I like to stay busy,
Hmm.
and I wanted to learn. So she kept giving me jobs, and then near the end of it, she was just kind of, or, near like, she was kind of like, you do everything now. So you're the general manager, the
Hmm.
owner. So,
Gotcha.
um, so I do a lot of the tasting room work. I'm in the tasting room a lot. We started a wine club, so I manage that. We have an Airbnb, I manage that. So
Wow.
I do like a lot. I do a lot
Yeah.
here, but we're only a 2,500 case winery, so it's
Okay.
not like we're busting out like tons of, we're working on like tons of grapes and
Hmm.
like tons of gallonages. So
Are you going to stay
uh,
that small?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We are looking to plant a little bit more
Okay.
in our two vineyard, like where we've had like some, some part of the vineyard has opened up a little bit, like, the
Hmm.
ground shifts in the past 10 years and they're looking to plant a little bit. So but we kind of like staying within like 2 to 3,000 cases.
Mm, okay.
It's a nice number for us. We don't
Yeah.
have to find sales, I guess. We get
Okay.
plenty of people that come to the winery and we want them to enjoy the space. And so it's kind of a nice number. We kind of found our sweet spot.
Nice.
Mhm.
Hey, so a little bit about you. How did you get into winemaking?
I studied, oh, sorry, I think you cut out for a sec.
Oh,
I studied food science at Penn State. And I I actually was going to go into something like with nutrition
mm.
and do, I don't know, make food that was like nutritious, and then I went into alcohol production, which was really great. Like I started working in a wine lab my freshman year,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't like real wine; it was actually just like a model wine solution. With like water and alcohol and
Mm-hmm.
acid in it or whatever, the main components of wine.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really making wine and I didn't really know much about it. I was just getting lab experience. And then I got more interested in it. I was reading about wine and, there's so much involved.
Yeah.
And I did an internship and then I loved it. So I kept going with it.
So you
And
did an internship and you were a winemaker. You were shadowing a winemaker.
yeah, I was essentially an intern.
Oh, okay.
I did I forget what they called me, like a harvest intern. So
Oh,
I
okay.
took 6 months and I did bottling all summer long, and it was terrible and tedious. Bottling is like not fun at all. It's the
I
worst
have to
part.
agree.
Yeah, it's the worst part of winemaking, but very, very important. So if you can get through bottling, you can be a winemaker, I think.
Mm.
But when harvest started in the fall, I loved it. I loved like the learning about fermentation and, like all the hard work that's involved. And then you get this like beautiful wine that you worked so hard on. And it's just like
Yeah.
this really great satisfaction. And then seeing people enjoy it
Yeah.
as well. So I just kept doing internships. I worked at Two Hands Wines in South Australia.
Oh, wow.
So I went to Australia for a little while. And then just worked at some different places in Pennsylvania and then ended up at Gaylor. So
How long have you been at Gaylor?
just over 5 years.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
Yeah, it's been great. I
Yeah,
love it here.
just watching you guys, your camaraderie, you seems like a little family there.
It is. Yeah, it was amazing when I first moved here because I was living in Erie, Pennsylvania,
Mm-hmm.
and my husband and we had just gotten married. We moved here. And the Gaylors like put us up in their house, like, so we
Oh,
like had dinners with them. Like it's just a really great
that's really
team
nice.
here. Yeah, it's a great team. I love working with everybody here.
That's awesome. So what do you
Yeah.
guys grow? What kind of grapes do you guys grow at Gaylor?
We have we have two vineyard sites. We have one that's mainly Chardonnay, and that's right on our winery property. So if you come and visit us at the winery, it's the vineyard on site is all Chardonnay. And then we have our home vineyard. We call it the home vineyard because the Gaylors live there. So it's like where their home is.
Okay.
And we have 5 varieties grown there. We have Cabernet Franc, Petit Verdot. Those are our 2 red varieties. And then we have Albarino and Gruner Veltliner. And then our only hybrid is Vidal Blanc.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're small and everything's densely planted. So we get a lot more tonnage per acre than
Okay.
say like, a vineyard in, I don't know, California or France or something like that. Just because we want the vines to really struggle in our very nutrient rich soil.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very close together, and we get some lovely fruit from them. So
Very nice. Do you know what your soil is like composed of?
I should. It's a lot of clay.
Okay.
We have a lot of mica, like that. It's actually really beautiful when you're walking through. You see like it almost sparkling when the sun's shining.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of like I think the official thing is silt loam something or other, but honestly I didn't do too much. But it's a lot of clay. Like Pennsylvania's really has like rich soil with all the farmland and all the trees and corn that's grown here. So I believe the Gaylors had to bring in a lot of soil actually in their vineyard when they planted it 10 years ago, or a little over 10 years ago, and kind of changed the soil composition to help the new vines. Gotcha. So I think it changed probably since then, but yeah, I should probably know a lot more than I do about. But we do have a manager that knows a lot about that.
So is harvest done? Are you guys finished?
We're done. Yeah. Okay. It was quick this year, about 5.5 weeks. Yeah. So it was very quick. It always seems like halfway through harvest, we're so tired, and then we realize we're already halfway through, and then we just bring in the reds and we're about done. So I believe my assistant winemaker, he barreled down today. So all the reds are in barrel, and yeah, we had a great vintage.
Nice. And what kind of barrels do you guys use?
We have Hungarian and French oak.
Oh, okay.
So all European oak, no American oak.
Okay.
And I think that really does well. Our Hungarian and French oak, I think they do really well with our Cab Franc. So yeah, so we stick with the European oaks.
Very nice. So I have a question about making wine and selling wine in Pennsylvania. You guys mentioned some challenges that you have in this state. Can you tell everybody what those challenges are and why do you think they are?
Sure. So making wine in Pennsylvania is difficult just because we're so new, I think. We're still learning about what varieties and what clones grow well in our area. And Pennsylvania is a huge state. Like, it takes 6 hours to get from one side to the other. It's a very large state. So throughout the state, there are different varieties grown, and maybe some varieties don't work well in, the western part that does in the eastern part. So it's difficult to kind of learn as a state what we can grow. I feel like in our little section, we're a lot warmer than even like the Lehigh Valley, where they grow a lot of Austrian varieties and cooler climate.
Sure.
So yeah, so it's just a tricky thing. We're still learning. We're still new in the industry to figure out what wines will grow well in our area. So and then climate is, the weather is always an issue. We have rain and humidity, and the whole East Coast deals with that.
Right.
Hurricanes, early frost, a lot of rain in the spring. So, we have those challenges that we have to kind of manipulate in the vineyard, and then also in the winery too. So yeah, that's always difficult as a winemaker, but that's also what is kind of fun about it too. You have these challenges you have to face and make the best wine possible.
Yep.
Selling wine in Pennsylvania has been so much easier, I believe. So I've been a Gaylor for about 5 years, and I think at Gaylor, at least, people are becoming more aware of, they're like the locavores. They want to support local businesses. They want to support local agriculture and know where their food and their drinks are coming from, their wine's coming from. So that's been, I think, really great in that aspect, where you can sell wine, like local wine, if it's good, because you're interested in learning about where the wine comes from.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that has been probably in the past 5 years, I feel like it's been easier to sell wine. But yeah, since we're so small, we don't have to ship. We don't ship wine. We don't have to hustle our wine to restaurants. So we're very lucky in the aspect that Longwood Gardens is so close to us. We get a lot of traffic.
Longwood Gardens, what's that?
It's like one of the largest botanical gardens in America, I think. Maybe.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like I mean, I don't know the stats, but exactly for Longwood Gardens, I probably should. But they get like international visitors, like people from all over the country come. It's a huge botanical garden. It's gorgeous. If you've never been, you should definitely go. I love going there. And it's right by us. So you can like make a little trip about.
That sounds like a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, you can go to Longwood and then visit us. And then there's all these other great wineries and breweries in the area too. So you can really make a weekend of it. But yeah, it's literally in our front yard, Longwood Gardens. So it's not, we say like we're in their backyard. So they're in our front yard. But yeah, they're like, it's a great place to go and check out. So, and then we're right there.
So I have to ask, our last episode was about the sober movement. Have you heard of this?
Sort of.
Okay. Yeah.
You can talk about it.
No.
Tell me about it.
I mean, but we got really deep into it. So apparently there is an entire sober movement. And from what I've been reading, it began with the millennials. I don't know if you're a millennial or not, but
I am. Yeah.
Okay. It started with y'all. Where you chose a lot of people.
Not me. Oh. Not me and my friends.
That's the same thing we said, but we're not millennials. But anyway, so yeah, a lot of people are choosing not to drink, not to smoke, not to partake in anything.
Okay.
And there are hashtags like sober is sexy. And, it's all about being sober and being clean and all of these things. And it's a whole movement. It's on Instagram. There's a website. They have sober bars where you go to a bar and they make you mocktails and pour alcohol-free wine and alcohol-free beer. And it's really a thing. And then that's why you're starting to see mocktails on menus now. And you're starting to see like Heineken has an alcohol-free beer.
Yeah.
So the industry's following suit because, it's changing the dynamics of the sales in our industry now. So it's interesting to watch. That's all I'm doing is watching this, but.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
taking.
It is. Well, so I'm expecting my second child right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of have I have been partaking in this, I guess, this like sober movement the past few months, like 7 months.
Yeah.
So I have had like all of my friends are like, you should try the Heineken free or the Heineken, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's called Heineken Zero or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't.
I actually tasted it because my husband used like on a cleanse for 30 days and we got it and it tastes like regular Heineken.
Really?
Yeah, it does.
Without the buzz.
Exactly.
And I had a wine that I forget what it is. It's a sparkling. It's like Frey.
Oh yeah,
like yeah. So yeah. I've had that. But other than that, I haven't really. I just go with water.
Yeah.
But because to me, it's like, why would I pay like a lot for this?
Girl?
It's just like the I guess like those like extra calories.
Exactly.
But I don't think Gaylor would ever do any, like it's expensive equipment. Like you have to get like a reverse osmosis and like, you're essentially like putting all this work into making like this high quality wine. And then you're like, just putting it through another process.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's interesting. It's really interesting.
And I asked you that because I did taste your Gruner juice that you poured us. That was delicious. And it would be fantastic in a cocktail or mocktail, whatever. But yeah.
Awesome. Juice that comes in, like when we first press, it is amazing. I mean, you sometimes you can like make yourself sick off of like how much you can drink because it's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
It's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know about the sober movement. I mean, I'm kind of part of it right now, but what's it called? Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, none of my friends are partaking in it, at least.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the next part of a segment, I'm just going to ask you random rapid questions and you tell me whatever comes to your mind.
Okay.
Okay. Beef, turkey, or Impossible Burger?
Right now, beef.
Okay.
Right now, yeah.
Okay. Is that what you're craving right now?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Probably
Okay.
turkey, like for the rest of it. But yeah, beef right now.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Favorite place for an adult-child play date?
Longwood Gardens.
Oh,
yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
I take my daughter there all the time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So what is your favorite type of fry? Steak, curly, shoestring wedge, boardwalk style. I might have missed some, but tell me.
This is so funny because I've wanted potatoes like all of my pregnancy. So all of them, any of them, whatever I can get my hands on.
Okay.
But probably shoestring and like maybe like tater tots.
Oh yeah. I forgot about those.
Yeah.
I forgot about those.
Those are my thing right now.
Beach or ski resort?
Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely beach.
And what is your favorite brunch item?
Probably like quiche. I love quiche.
Ooh.
I love quiche. And then side of potatoes.
I love it. I love it. Well, Virginia, thank you for chatting with me today. This was super cool.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Sure. So before you go, tell everybody where they can follow Gaylor Estate and you, if you want to, on social media.
Sure. So you can like us on Facebook, Gaylor Estate, and on Instagram at Gaylor Estate. It's pretty simple. If you ever have any questions, you can email info@gaylorestate.com. Check out our website, gaylorestate.com. My Instagram is Vin, Virginia, spelled like the state, 21. It's mainly just pictures of wine and then my daughter.
Love it.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely come visit. Gaylor again. Come see us again. See all our
absolutely. Especially with the Airbnb being there. Yeah. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, you definitely have to come stay with us.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you so much. You too.
All right. Bye-bye. Well, that's our show. Thanks for joining the Swirl Suite again, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and please comment. If you have any ideas for us, just let us know. We're very receptive. Don't forget to follow Gaylor Estate and visit some Pennsylvania wineries. They're really, really nice. Shout out to André Mack, just killing the wine game. Everybody is obsessed with him for a reason. He's absolutely brilliant. Go out and get his book, 99 Bottles. Have a great week. Cheers.